Hey you guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel of Phantom Rider 698. I'm the Phantom Rider, and to my left here is Shadow the motorcycle, and today we're going to be doing a 2015 Honda Shadow Phantom oil change with a whole new brand new oil filter and everything. Stay tuned and check out the video. So today, you guys, we're going to be changing the oil in the 2015 Honda Shadow Phantom. And the motorcycle that I like to ride, Shadow, is I like to utilize the K&N oil filters. I either go with one of two oil filters. I'll either go with the K&N oil filter, or I'll go with the actual Honda brand of motorcycle oil filter specifically designed for the Shadow Phantom series. The tricky part about the motorcycle is that the years run incongruent with one another. So a 2012 Honda Shadow Phantom part, such as an oil filter for instance, will work just the same on a 2015 Honda Shadow Phantom 2. So if you're running into an issue where you can't find a specific date or the specific year for your Honda Shadow Phantom, don't worry about it. They're all pretty universal to the year and models. The important part is that you get them specifically for the Honda Shadow Phantom, which in this case, this K&N oil filter, part number 204-1, is the K&N oil filter that you would be using for your Honda Shadow motorcycle. When it comes to the actual oil, I like to use the synthetic brand of Honda motorcycle fluid. There are a bunch of other different motorcycle oils out there, probably all just as good as the Honda brand is, but when it comes to motorcycles and when it comes to taking care of your parts and accessories, I like to use the name brand on a lot of stuff. And speaking of K&N oil filters, this is the kind of the first times that I've branched out and trying doing K&N oil filters, K&N air filters, and I like the K&N brand so far. I'm having a good time with it. Shadow the motorcycle is running really good with the K&N filters, so I'm going to keep using the K&N brand. But when it comes to everything else, I like to go with the Honda brand of fluids, oils, and other parts to the motorcycle too. So let's get under the bike and let's go check it out. Okay, you guys, so here we are under the motorcycle right now. Your oil filter is going to be located in this spot right here. To give you some perspective, here's your back tire of the motorcycle, and then here is where your oil filter is located, more towards the middle of the cruiser. The oil drain plug is going to be right back here in this spot. Pretty close to the filter, right here actually. I don't know if you can see it from there or not, but my index finger is touching it right now. So this is where the drain plug is going to be located. The types of wrench that you're going to want to use is the 17 size. As you can see, I have the stubby 17 wrench that I like to use, and I like to use the stubby because it's small enough to get underneath here and give you some clearance between you and the ground. So if you can see that or not, much easier to use. And in order to get this guy off of here, I'm going to move the oil pan, but I'm going to take a little hammer here. I'm just going to kind of tap and loosen it up. It's not too stuck on there. As you can see, it kind of loosened up pretty good, but it's not stuck on there too much, and we're good to go. So you don't want to really torque these guys too much. If this guy happens to drop into the oil drain pan, I'm not too concerned about it. I can fish it out of there. I'm just going to get a little dirty is all. But, yep, there we go. So there you go. And now we are draining the oil, the old used oil from Shadow the motorcycle. And indeed, that drain plug did happen to fall in there. I could not grab it, so I'll just fish it out of there. But we're going to let that drain for just a minute, and then we will be right back. So we fished out the drain plug, and we've got our copper ring to go on the drain plug as well. So we're going to put that right back on there, and then we're going to go ahead and put the drain plug back in. So again, we're going to move this guy out of the way for now. Come up from the bottom here, find the plug hole, and then just kind of screw that guy back in there and take the little stubby wrench here. And once we have it hand tightened just enough, then what I'll do is I'll take the wrench and just give it one more good tighten job, and then that's it. We're not going to torque it too much. You don't, like I said, you don't want to torque this stuff up all that much, or else you can do some damage to the threads on that drain plug or the drain pan itself. So just be careful about that stuff, you guys. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take off the K&N air filter, and the K&N air filters have a actual nut at the top that you can actually grab this thing with the wrench. Coincidentally, this too is a size 17. So I'm going to use the stubby guy here. Just going to take this guy off, the old one, move the drain pan back in place. It's another nice little feature about the K&N oil filters is that they're pretty easy to take off and put on. So we're going to take the old off here, just like that. Make sure we drain the oil out of that part. And then we're going to take the old oil filter and we're going to put that in the box that the new one came in, just to kind of store it for now and keep it out of the way. Excuse me. Okay, now we're going to put the new one on. Now before you do that though, I want to advise that you guys remember to always take some clean oil. Fresh bottle, brand new. Dip your finger in there, get a little bit of fresh oil. I'm going to put it around the ring, the rubber part of the ring here. Just kind of give it a nice little coat of fresh oil on there. Move the bottle out of the way. Move you guys back over here, and we're going to slap the new oil filter on there. We're just going to tighten that, hand tighten for a little bit. Okay, and then take the wrench, tighten it a little bit more, but honestly, same thing here, you guys. You don't want to torque the oil filters too much. That's on there just fine. The only reason why I use the wrench is because I have that option with the K&N oil filters of that little nut on the end of the filter as well. So I can get the wrench on there and tighten it up a little bit if I want to. Otherwise, I usually just hand tighten these K&N oil filters, or even the original Honda brand oil filters. I just hand tighten them on there, you guys. I wouldn't torque it too much. As always, you don't want to torque anything too much on your bike. So that's it, you guys. Now we're going to put some oil in here and we'll talk about the oil. We're going to start putting oil back into Shadow. Now the amount of oil that we put in are about 2.5 bottles, because we changed the oil filter as well, took the oil out of the engine. So we're going to put in 2 full bottles and then a little more than just half a bottle into Shadow, and then give her a fire up and let her kind of run for a little bit and run some of that new oil through the engine. And that's it. As now, to give you guys some perspective, Honda, as most other oil bottles do, we'll give you dimensions on the sides of the bottle here. You want to go ahead and put in 2.6 bottles of motorcycle oil back into the 2015 Honda Shadow Phantom. So in this case, this is a 32 fluid ounce, 1 quart bottle of oil, and 0.6 would more than likely come out to about 18, about 18 fluid ounces, give or take. So we are going to put probably down to about the 400 mark, down to that mark right there. So you're going to look at probably about bringing this down to 14 14 fluid ounces left in the bottle. So that's what I put into my Honda Shadow Phantom, and I've never had any issues with that before. So just bear that in mind when you're changing the oil. You want to make sure you get the right amount in there. You don't want to overfill it. That can always cause some issues, and then certainly don't want to underfill it either. That too can cause some issues. And so now we have replaced the dipstick back into the spot it needs to go. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to level out the motorcycle as if you were riding it just on the road like you normally would. Bring it back down, set it back down on its leg rest, and then we're going to come back to the dipstick here. We're going to check that guy out, and might not be able to see it very well, but that is at the exact full mark that it needs to be, and that is brand new motorcycle oil in Shadow the motorcycle. So I like to change my oil in Shadow probably once every 3,000 miles. I use a synthetic oil, the Honda brand synthetic oil, and you could probably go a little bit more, but I always believe in taking good care of your bike and the things you have. So when it comes to oil and the spark plugs and filters, I like to keep it regular. I don't like to really stretch the boundaries. So I change the oil in Shadow once about every 3,000 miles. This is in between the last oil change and now was the big trip down to the Redwoods. So Shadow was needing an oil change for sure, but it's always good to kind of keep up with the maintenance of your bike, and that will ensure that it lives a long, healthy, prosperous life. So that's it, you guys. That's what I got for the 2015 Honda Shadow Phantom oil change. And if you have questions or comments or thoughts or suggestions for other folks, please feel free to leave comments in the comments section. Hit that like button, subscribe, and to see more videos of the 2015 Honda Shadow Phantom, Shadow's adventures on the road, and Shadow's maintenance adventures in the garage. Thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll catch you in the next video.